Ever fantasize about quitting your job, saying goodbye to your daily routine, and sailing off into the sunset?
Our next guest did just that. In 2014, Erik and Emily Orton packed up their 5 kids, left their home, and set sail for a year-long adventure on the open sea.
The Ortons write about their excursion, their new book, 7 at Sea.
Please welcome Erik and Emily Orton and their children, Eli, SJ, and Lily. How are we doing, y'all?
Doing great, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, y'all, for coming and seeing us.
We were laughing about the story in a sense because you guys came from New York City and decided to sail off, and the boat is bigger than your apartment in New York City. Is that correct?
That is true. That is
It's
true.
insane. So whose idea was this?
It started with Erik, for sure.
I'll take credit for that. Yeah, in 2008, I was producing an off-Broadway show, and it went belly up, and it was really discouraging and embarrassing, and so I kind of wanted to just disappear, and so I left the theater industry and took a night job working down at a bank in the financial district, and I would have these dinner breaks where I'd go walk along the Hudson River and watch the sunset and see these boats going up and
Down
down.
by the seaport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just seemed beautiful and peaceful, and that's
Right.
and something that I needed more of in my life at that time. And so,
Did you know how to sail?
no, I didn't, but there was a sailing school right downstairs from us.
How convenient.
Exactly.
Meant to be.
Yeah, so I encouraged him to just go get some more information, maybe take some classes, and to get a daytime class, he had to get 4 people together, and the 4 people ended up being 1, 2, and our 2 oldest daughters, who were 11
wow.
and 9 at the time.
So it was a family affair. That's cool.
I love
Yeah,
it.
Exactly.
It was a good time, and after the class was over, Erik said, let's try it out, going without an instructor, just rent a boat. So we went to Toms River, New Jersey.
Nice.
And we got on this boat, and it was the first time these 3 kids were able to join us, and Lily wasn't even sitting up yet. We got out there, and the other people on the river in their jet skis and motorboats were actually pointing and laughing at us, and we were just kind of bobbling around and screaming, and we figured it out. We got back, and Sarah Jane said, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
What did your friends and family think about it?
I don't think any of them took us very seriously when we first started talking about the idea. You know, we spent a long time preparing for the trip, and so eventually they came around to believing us, and I think my parents ultimately believed us when they drove us to the airport and dropped us off to go fly to meet up with our sailboat.
Right. And you said, whose idea was it to live, to get rid of the apartment and live on the boat with 7 people?
Well, this was actually one of my favorite moments in our whole story, because we were just sitting around our house, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, but everyone was like reading or playing a game, and he just came and he said, you know, I think the 7 of us on a boat would be enough universe for me. And I'm like, well.
It's a nice boat. It's a really nice boat. It's a much better view than New York City right there. What is that like when you have, because you have to have supplies enough for 7 people at all times? What's it like? Are you just constantly shopping?
We like to call it provisioning, and I like to go every 2 weeks, or we know we're going to be out for a while between when we might have another grocery opportunity. And everywhere there's people, there's food. So that's not a problem. But yeah, we just buy it, we put it in our little boat, then we sail it out to the big boat, and then stuff it under the beds and under the couches and find
And the islands
places
are
for
so great. I find that all the locals are so friendly and eager to show you around and go out fishing and.
That's one thing that we learned while we were out there, is that there are great people everywhere. We never had to look very far to find a friendly face and someone willing to help us out.
Definitely.
For sure.
How old are you guys? Are you guys teenagers?
I'm 17.
I'm 13.
I'm 11.
So you have technically teenagers right now. What are the living quarters like? Because I know you need your privacy as a teenager, and you have 2 other kids as well. What are the living quarters like?
Well, on the boat, we had 4 cabins. This was the cabin that Emily and I shared. Eli and Lily shared a room.
That must have been fun.
Yeah, right across from us, so I could hear. Yeah. Did you like sharing with Lily?
Not really.
Yeah, and then Sarah Jane shared a cabin with our oldest daughter, Karina.
And Miss Lily, your middle name is Ocean.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Beautiful. Very fitting. Beautiful.
Do people recognize you when they've sailed by you? Do they see you as a family that you guys document your trips and your travels?
I think people have recognized the boat. We've since sold the boat, and another family loved the story and wanted to kind of carry on that family relationship building tradition.
Kept the name of the boat, yeah.
They kept the name of the boat. It was Fezziwig, and so sometimes people will let us know by Facebook or social media, like, hey, we saw your boat in Grenada or in the Bahamas or somewhere else.
Absolutely.
So keeping tabs, yeah.
Kids, what was this journey like for y'all?
I did not want to go at first. I had friends in New York, and there was a boy that I liked.
It's always that boy that'll get in the way.
Honestly, yeah. And I did not, so I didn't want to go. And I was pretty upset at first, but it didn't take too long. After
Right.
being in the Caribbean,
I know.
not being upset about it.
Yeah,
so.
take us next time. And you wrote a book about your experience.
Yes, we did. We had a great experience writing it, and it was a great opportunity for us to revisit what happened to us, what we experienced, and really kind of pull it together and wrap our heads around it.
And hopefully give a little inspiration and courage to other families, because a lot of times you feel like, well, I can't do this because I have these children or these
Right.
responsibilities. So this sort of talks about how we manage having big responsibilities and this big idea and how it, blessed our family. So we
And
hope
brought
it'll
you even
get
closer together, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Spending that much concentrated time together.
I see a movie. I see a movie.
Definitely, right?
Jeff Bridges.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon,
you're
right?
out
Yeah,
there.
Matt Damon.
I'm looking
He
at
loves-
you.
He loves being in the middle of nowhere.
That's right.
Thank you, Orton family. Thank you very much.
you.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
We look forward to hearing about your next adventure. Good luck on the book and everything.
Definitely. We'll be right back.